Hello everybody, welcome to a Mercy video. Um, I wanted to do a Mercy build guide for one of my biggest builds that I use in Stadium, and a build that is really well-rounded, I guess you could say. However, there is an item that is a key major to this Mercy build. As you know, as you've seen from my YouTube shorts and from my past videos, I use this build quite often. But with the changes to Mercy and Stadium, it has gotten buffed, or, like a better word, a much better gameplay and more improvements. Yes, there you go. This build has improved more. Um, Not everybody uses this build. I haven't seen anybody use this build yet. Or not that I know of. But if you are Mercy and you have used this build, correct me if I'm wrong, but this build is a really fun build that I kind of used around Stadium. So we can get started. So as you know, you don't get much points, but when you start off the round. But I start off the round with First Responder, which when you resurrect an ally, it grants 250 overhealth for 6 seconds. So I'll go over here.
What happened to you?
Let me just make him die. And then buy items in order with Compensator, Power Playbook, and Armor Vest or First Aid Kit. Now for this game, I'm going to try and earn as much money as possible, which is why Power Playbook plays a role into this, because your flash shield is based on how much ability power you have, and your res is based on how much ability power you have. With First Responder, when you res, you get a huge
healing stream.
HP increase for just 6 seconds. So if you look at here, we just give it a moment. Wait 7 seconds, but almost there. So I have my res. When I resurrect my robot,
Our work is
that green bar, that green bar is the effect of First Responder, which is great for survivability, great for some sustained plan, if you want to call it, because this build is really just about sustaining, which is why I call it my a res build, because you're relying on your res a lot. See, they die, res.
Let's get you back in the fight.
You get overhealth, and your team gets overhealth. So
this will just take a moment.
Beneficial for both players. Now onto round 2. Now this really varies, because I'm taking suggestions from my past videos, and I see some just very little comments. I usually go for Threads of Fate for the additional versatility and for more heals. So as you know, sometimes Mercy can't heal the whole team, which is why I go for Threads of Fate to kind of like warp around and provide more healing to the team and earn extra cash for myself. But usually this build goes really well with my Threads of Fate, just because I could get somebody in the middle of a battle and then I can quickly pocket them and then look at another person and then heal the rest of my team. Because when I res, to get additional HP, so I don't worry much, and then I can just go on and off, flick off my healing on the teammate. So I just
Heilstrahl aktiviert.
heal them right here. I can just heal them right here. Yep. Just like a really minor
Right
change.
by you.
Very useful. And then I sell everything I have for round 2, and then buy Angel Leisure Wear and Aerodynamic Feathers for the survivability if I don't have enough cash. Whatever's left is Power Playbook, maybe like at least 2k, at least 2,000 more cash, so probably something like Armored Vest if I don't invest in anything else. Maybe compensated to keep compensator, and then what is that, like a little bit? Maybe charge plating.
You call it?
Keep the
This
survival
will just take a moment.
up for myself, because you know when rezzing as Mercy, it is really risky. But for this playstyle, my main point of using this build is to play risky. You know, not everybody likes that as Mercy. I personally like that because it makes me more impactful to the game and makes me more engaging rather than just, you know, being laid back, especially with the DPS, you know, power boost. But for this build, it makes me more engaged with the tank. You know, I can go slide the tank dies, I res, fly back to my teammate. I don't have to worry much about my tank because my tank is alive with the overhealth. But as we move to round 4, not round 4, round 3, I would sell whatever I have left. Let's say I get, you know, like 8k more, right? And if I sell my my 3 greens, which I'll have 3,000 left, I have like what, roughly 11,000. I'll typically buy Resurrection Finder immediately, and then whatever I have left, let's see, like 2k more. I'm gonna buy Power Playbook and Weapon Compensator.
Angel at your shoulder.
You know, play from the distance.
You don't look good at all.
So, you know, play a little safer still. But still engage, obviously. But, like, you know, once they die, I'm gonna swap back to Dodge. You know, once they die, I can just res them from this range.
There's much for you to
Still
do.
keeping myself alive.
Where was I? There was this
You know, keep this team alive.
You call it?
And I can
Heroes never die.
And then keep obviously ult to save myself and save healing.
Improving your vitals.
You know, fly around, be as mobile as you can, be as annoying as you can. And one thing I like to do when I have my Mercy ult is, let's go over here. When
Heroes
I ult,
never die.
I like to peek around the corner and then res behind walls, because the resurrecting wall tactic is very useful, especially against characters like Brigitte or Lucio or Reinhardt who try to boop you or knock you down. And with you resing in the middle of a fight behind a wall, or in some cases where
I'm here to help.
the situation is very dire and like you actually need to
Our work is
you
not
actually need to like save the point or to stall a little more. I tend to let me show my items real quick so I can get my cooldown faster. Because this is taking a bit too long.
right by you.
Like in situations, there you go. In situations like these that are very dire and that you need to you know, save the point, I like to fly up and then res in the middle of a fight
Not on my
to
watch.
keep myself alive, because you know, if you get booped, you still get the res chance.
Angel at your shoulder.
Thanks to the item that I have, which is Resurrection Finder. So, you know, resing very high in the air gives you a lot of opportunity, because they're trying to shoot you down, but if you know, fly down slowly, or if you immediately drop down as soon as they try to shoot you in the air, it should give you that momentum of actually see right here. Oh,
You call it?
right here. It should give you the momentum to actually
I will not let
get
you
the safe
fall.
res off.
Where was I? There was this.
And on to round 4 is where things get really, really good for you. Distortion. I would get Distortion all the time. This is the mid patch though, so they did nerf Distortion a bit from from this past patch. So it used to be when you use Flash Shield against the target overhealth equal to 30% of your max HP or max health for 2 seconds and knocks back enemies within 5 meters around the target. Now it is 25% instead of 30. But it's totally fine, you know. This the Flash Shield that Mercy has is really, really powerful. It's a really powerful build. But aside from that, I would sell everything I have. Let's say we do really, really well and we get, let's say, like 100. You know? We get 100. So if we get 100, right, if we get everything I have back. So this is roughly like 9,000. Yeah, so it'll be 6,000 and 6,000 plus, that'll be 6,075. That'll be 6,000 plus 750. I can't calculate that because, I mean, what impact is range, so I need to calculate that. So if we have 375, 750 times 2, which would be 7,000, right? And 7,000 plus 10k. My bad, whoopsies. Let's say plus. There you go. I will have 10,500 left. If I sell my green first aid kit, I get 19,000. So I have 19,000 left. I would buy Flash Shield feedback, which when I use Flash Shield, it will heal myself of 25% of its healing. So this is how it looks.
Here to help.
I get the effect as well, and so does my teammate. So it's really good to keep yourself alive and to keep your teammates alive.
Come on, get up.
Aside from that, let me see. If I subtract 9,500, I will have 9,500. So whatever's left will go to survivability. So I could just do this. Yeah, Angel Leisure. So I'll have Angel Leisure and Aerodynamic Feathers, which is 7,500. I'll have only 2,000 left. You know, whatever's left. Power Playbook and Compensator, because I have a little bit of armor.
I'll have you in top condition.
The Flash Feedback gives
I'm
you
here to support.
50 armor, I think. Yes, 50 armor and 5% cooldown reduction. So you're basically not gonna
There's
die.
much for you to do.
And my res is on a 25-second cooldown.
Feel stronger?
Not the greatest, but in any situations where if you don't want to use it, I would go for multi-tool to give the additional ability power and 5% cooldown reduction. And then my last item will probably be a survival item or Ironclad exhaust points, which will give me an additional 5% cooldown reduction, which leads it up to 25%.
I'll make sure that
So when
doesn't
I res,
stop.
it'll be
Our work
23,
is not
and then
done.
my flash shield will be
Where
at 9.
was I?
Checking
Where
in.
was this? Right.
Now, round 5 is when the game changer begins, because let's say if I remove all of my blues and I get enough money, right? Usually what happens is if I have a bit of money left, and you should get at least 30k by round 5, I would get Iridescent Iris, or I would get Highlight Accelerator. There you go. Which is a lot. a lot, right? But in some cases where if you don't have enough money for these two 12,000 items, Iridescent Iris or Highlight Accelerator, you can totally get Icy Coolant, Multi-Tool, and Ironclad, which will give you 30% cooldown reduction. And then, but if you can't get Ironclad, it's totally fine, you know. You get a little bit of money left. I would suggest buying it into maybe first aid kit or to boost your stats a little more. Let's go with Compensator and Charge Plating because you're going to be
Mercy in
ulting
Bereitschaft
a lot.
I will not let you fall.
Because you won't,
Here to help.
because later in the rounds you won't ult at all, period. Because you're beginning one crucial power.
Let
Okay.
me see what I can do.
Right here. You know,
Heroes never die.
fly. Get the res off.
Not
I'll
on
20
my
second
watch.
cooldown still.
Where was I?
But I am healing a little more.
Right. White light.
An deiner Seite.
Yeah, but just try to maximize a lot of cooldowns as you can. By trying to perform better than your team. No disrespect, no shame, no shade, but like, you know, for this build you kind of have to outshine the team to actually get what you need. But by round 6 you'll be getting Renaissance, which is after successfully resurrecting, you will activate Valkyrie for 5 seconds. So this is how it looks like. You fly.
Come on, get up.
You fly.
Where was I? There
Which is
was
great.
this bright,
Right by you.
light.
And in any cases where you do perform a lot better than teammates, you can buy this very rare item called Versatilie Injection, in which when you're at 100% ult charge, you gain 50 HP. You get 10% of everything: weapon power, ability power, attack speed, cooldown reduction, and movement speed. And then you should get enough to at least get Iridescent Iris or Highlight Accelerator. I would go for Highlight Accelerator. And then whatever is left, you know, if you have a little bit of cash left, you can get a blue, you know, like multi-tool, or go for Icy Coolant. And then if you have less to get, you have less cash and you can't get a blue, it's totally fine. You can go for Power Playbook or Charge Plating. You know, you were stuck at
Angel, if you're sure enough.
30% ult charge, 30% cooldown reduction, but
Helping you
your
out.
cooldown is at, your res cooldown is at 21 seconds now, and your flash shield is still at 9.
Light.
It's like a millisecond at 9. But the crucial
make
part
sure
is
that
that
doesn't
when you
stop.
get Vendettium's injection, you get 40%
You
cooldown
caught
reduction
it?
now. So, if you see them here, I can res, boom,
Our
18.
work is not done.
Where was I? There was this
You
bright,
get 18.
white light.
Second cooldown. But I'm only saying this because Vendetta Injections is really, really good for this build. However, I don't choose it just yet because I go for Iridescent Iris with the additional
Right
ability
by
power,
you.
and because I'll be using my ult during round
There's
6,
much for you to do.
because it's really
Where was I? There was this bright, white
useful
Heroes
by round
never
7.
die.
Because round 7 is like when the playmaker begins, because you know you're fighting for, both teams are fighting for the point. They're
What
both trying to
happened to
get the
you?
win. The Denia's injection will be useful because I don't really think Mercy's ultimate is
I am here to support.
that helpful later in the game. Just because,
on,
yes,
get
it's
up.
good to stall, yes, it's good to,
Where was I? There was this bright,
you know, heal the
white
whole entire
light.
team. But it's
This
very
will help you.
situational. There are way better characters that have way better ults and are more effective, like Nano Boost or Tidal Weight or Tidal Blast, I think that's what it's called.
An deiner
You know,
Seite.
but Vendettium is great by round 6 if you get a lot of cash, or if you feel confident in
You
your
don't look good
ability
at
to not use ult and actually have great timing.
Our work is not done.
And like that,
Where was I?
then you
There
know
was
it's
this
really
bright,
fun.
white light.
But by round 6, you should get a little bit more cash. So maybe multi-tool and then maybe icy coolant if you really get
Healing
there.
stream connected.
It's okay if you can't get there because
I
you know
will
this
not
build
let
does
you
take a
fall.
lot of cash to build.
There was this bright, white light.
But aside from that, imagine that you make it to round 7 and you get enough cash to get Vendettium's injection. But you don't have enough cash to make it to get another item, Martian Mender, which is the 10,000 item, which gives you 25% 20 HP and 5% cooldown reduction. It's great because you know it gives you the cooldown reduction, but it's okay because total everything, this whole entire build is 65,500 cash, which is a lot because you know Mercy doesn't earn as much as you think she does, unless like you really go heavy on her beam. But no, I don't go heavy on the beam that much. So the beam's just there to give me enough cash, but if it doesn't give me enough cash, it's okay because you may have more than 5,000 cash, obviously, but you might have less than 10,000 cash. But it's okay because I would typically go for the blues that give me cooldown reduction, icy coolant, or multi-tool, or if I need to stay alive, I got ironclad. You know, it's okay. You know, there's some situations where I don't reach my threshold, and I can't complete my build, but it's fine, totally fine as long as you get 40% cooldown reduction. Because at the end of the day, as long as you don't use your ult, well, you are at a 15-second cooldown on that res.
Where was I?
50-second
There was
cooldown,
this bright,
and then a 6-second on that flash heal. Distortion can be activated a lot more.
What happened
And
to
then, you know, if you know, if your teammates die, you just, boom, talk to
Not
them.
on my watch.
where was I?
You know,
There
you're waiting
was
on that
this
res.
bright, white light.
I'm Dinah Zeiter.
Like,
How are you still
it's just stop
moving?
dying faster, but see, you just become more annoying because you're not
I
using
will not
ult. You
let
get a
you fall.
15-second cooldown. You're flying all over the
Where
point.
was I?
You're
There was this
stalling as
bright,
much as you can. You're not using ult unless it's like really situational and dire and you actually
don't
need
look
to
good
use
at all.
ult because Mercy does build ult pretty fast. And we don't have to manage it right because
There's much for you to do.
I personally
Where was I?
rather build ult
There
charge
was
than
this
power boosting
bright,
any day.
Enhancing your strength.
Power boosting is great, but I care more about my ult because
I
if
can
I have
fix
ult,
that.
then I can just power boost when I ult. And it's not really that important to power boost, especially when you have goated teammates
Not on my watch.
like
Where
that.
was I?
But if you do have enough for Martian Mender, I mean the effect
You'll
is the
be
same.
fine
You just
now.
you just gain a little bit more HP. But
Checking in.
you know, 15 cooldown,
Our
boom,
work is not done.
flying around
Where
on
was
point,
I? There was this
stalling as
bright,
much as you can.
white light.
You know, your tank dies, and then you're
have
still waiting on
you
that
in
res,
tight
but you
condition.
have the distortion, 6-second flash heal on distortion, and then you get the chance to res your tank. Boom,
Let's get you back in the fight.
and then you keep your DPS alive, you keep the support alive because distortion knocks back any dive
Here to
characters
assist.
or anybody who's trying to kill your support or your DPSs. You just flash heal this guy, dive a low power teammate, a low HP teammate. Res,
This will just take a
decline,
moment.
distortion.
I'm at the height of my
You
performance.
know, you're just constantly rezzing, and that's the
Angel
most
at your
annoying
shoulder.
part as Mercy, because if you have great timing and you know when to go in, that's when the enemy has a problem for you, because they're like, oh my god, like, why is this still alive? Who is keeping them alive? There's Mercy's rezzing in our back lines. There's Mercy's rezzing in the middle of the point, and she still lives. Yes. You know, you play a little risky as Mercy
Need
with
some
this build.
assistance?
And it's really fun actually, because even though they have all eyes on you, once you
Right
get the
by
pop off
you.
of the res, you get Renaissance, fly
Our
away.
work is not done.
Fly away.
Where was I?
And then come back
There was
in
this bright,
with a
white
distortion
light.
flash heal.
You really need treatment.
But aside from that, this is really my total build. I have gotten some suggestions to get rid of Threats of Fate for item, or not item, empower called Supply Surge, which when Flash Shield grants 20% movement speed, 100% increased cooldown refresh rate on all your abilities, and 20% life steal to the target and yourself.
I am here
I
to
have
support.
thought of this.
Let
I
me
haven't.
take a look.
I tried using it, but I never really got the chance to fully see it in a use it in a full game because the round tends to end early, or um, we lose too fast, or the enemy team loses
Not
too
on my
fast.
watch.
But this build is actually
happened
great
to
for Mercy's Flight,
Right.
and it affects Mercy's own Flash
I'm
Shield as well.
Dinah Zita.
So Mercy's Rez and Flash Shield are
Come
both
on,
being
get up.
benefited.
Where was
And it gives you the Mercy the additional 20%
Here to
movement
assist.
speed. So Mercy could just constantly fly around. Rez,
There's much for you
Flash
to
Shield
do.
fly around.
Where was
Wait around for a little bit. Flash Shield again.
Here to help.
Maneuver around.
This will
Flash Shield
help you.
again. Get the Rez off.
Not
then
on
fly
my
again.
watch.
So it's really all about timing, but the reason why I didn't choose this just because it depends on what support you play with, and if they're a group
Our
healer,
work is not
a
done.
solo healer, or a
White.
tactician. So somebody
I'm here to
support
support.
who benefits more from DPSing rather than healing. So usually I go for such a fate as a safer versatile option. Another build that I have included, I have thought of, is double dose. Because double dose is
Improving your vitals.
double dose is really good for Distortion,
use some
especially going
assistance.
for
Come on, get up.
especially for survivability, and it benefits from Renaissance as well. So when you are never ulting, but you do res with your Renaissance. So right here, I use a flash
This will
shield.
just take a moment.
Actually, let me just. So right here, I use a flash shield. They die. I get Renaissance, and I get another flash shield.
Right by you.
Where was
So there's multiple ways into playing a sustain, risky,
You need urgent care.
survival mercy, I guess you could say.
Heading
But I go
you
for
up.
such a fate just for the additional healing. But you can really do whatever you want with this build. Everybody has their unique preferences. Double dose is a good one, but the main three items that the main two items actually that two powers that you should have is Renaissance and Distortion, and not Distortion, Renaissance and First Responder. If you want to go for a never ulting build, these two are really great because they are both abilities, so you're never ulting. They're both ability skills. These two go. These both res powers go great with like a ambulance build, a threats of fate build. These go for a great DPS build if you are going for equivalent exchange. Or if you want to use either or is pretty good. There's a Renaissance build with threats of fate, and then a Renaissance with ambulance. A Renaissance build with the supply surge. There's many aspects, but this is how I play Mercy, and it has gotten me up to Legends, and I've been performing well actually. It just generally depends on who you play with and who you queue. If you're solo queuing, this build is great. For solo queue, I personally see it as a great build for solo queue because your teammates are relying on you, but you're also relying on your reses, and sometimes some reses are pretty good, and some reses are like kind of dumb. But I think for me it is a miracle that I live through my reses because I do get ult, I do get Valkyrie when I res, and I do get additional overhealth when I res. You know, Like I'm just living and sustaining with Distortion because Distortion heals myself as well. So you know, keeping your teammates alive, keeping the fight going, and being able to sustain and stall objectives is practically what this build is all about. Like if you are somebody who wants to win games, don't really care about kills, but winning the point and winning team fights and being able to succeed throughout the games. This build is a build that I recommend. It's really fun. Not supply search, but that's great. But you could really do whatever. It's just as long as you have Renaissance with First Responder and Distortion, because Distortion will keep you alive, because you have a flash feedback which gives you a 5% cooldown reduction. This will honestly help you succeed in your games. It has helped me a lot. Um, I am top 500 in Stadium, so yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have for
Need some assistance?
this build guide. You can do whatever you want. You know, it is this
Checking
build
in.
guide isn't as great because I can't showcase it to you.
Our
But I
work
do have
is not done.
I do have videos that has this build
Who is this? Right. Why
not to
before the
worry.
mid patch,
I'll patch
and
you up.
this build is pretty good. I can send the link or related video down in this video to give you a
Come on,
small
get
minor
up.
showcase
I'm at the height
on
of
how
my
this build goes,
performance.
Who is this?
You call it?
Right. White.
and it gives us the big W. But other than that, I think that is it for this video build guide. I hope you understood what I said. I apologize if I spoke a little too fast. I will explain it. I'll do a big summary down in the down in the description, and how each build goes.
There's much for you to do.
I'm just give you a brief
Who is
summary
this?
of it.
Right. White light.
But if you ever use it, just let me know what's your thoughts on it,
Improving
how
your
you see
vitals.
fit. If you don't like this build, I 100% respect your opinions. You know, your
I will not let you
options, your
fall.
opinions,
Where was
your
it?
preferences.
Who is this?
You know,
Right.
and this video is just to expand people's minds into like,
Activating
oh, like I
healing
want to try this
stream.
build out. Like, go to a stadium quick play. You know, try this build out. You know, see if it's like pretty good, pretty fun. I find this build pretty fun. I find this
Come
build
on,
pretty
get up.
good
Where was
for
it?
my play
Who
style.
is this? Right. White light.
But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's getting really late for me. I gotta go to sleep. I just came back from work. So, but I just wanted to make something small. A small video build guide for my Messi lovers out there, and who just plays this game for fun, but also have a competitive spirit in them to try out new things. And yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, please share. Down below, hit that notification button. Give me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. I will respond to you as quick as possible and as informative as possible. Well, aside from that, thank you so
Heroes
much.
never die.
Bye bye.